Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is a case for Gregory Walter, DOC number 420060. We have one participant here, Ms. Dakota Moore. She's the victim, and she'll be speaking in opposition.
Okay. Well, welcome, everybody. Good morning. My name is Cheryl Renatz. I'm serving as chair of today's parole panel. My colleagues on the panel will introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Roche.
Good morning. My name is Alvin Roche.
Good morning. I'm Keith Jones.
And our case is that of Mr. Gregory Walters. Sir, would you introduce yourself to the parole panel? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Greg Walters. My DOC number is 420060.
All right, and let me explain the process of how this will go today. I will read some identifying information into the record, and after that, Mr. Walters, I'll ask you to verify that information. Then we will conduct a parole interview with you, and Mr. Roche will take the lead on that interview. If Mr. Jones or I have any additional questions, we'll do that when he concludes his interview. Then we'll hear from Warden Tanner, get his input and let him tell us about your stay with him. And then we'll ask Ms. Moore for her remarks. At the very end, you'll be allowed to make a statement before we reach a parole decision.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get started. You are Gregory J. Walters. Your DOC number is 420060. You are classified as a first felony offender. You were sentenced on September 8th, 2016 for molestation of a juvenile. You received a 20-year sentence. Your parole eligibility date is August 23rd, 2020. You are not eligible to earn good time, and your full-term date is December 26th, 2033. Is that information correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Roche.
Good morning, Mr. Walters. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good. Mr. Walters, you're 49 years old, is that correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
And you're about 42 at the time of the offense, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you are classified as a first felony offender, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, first of all, let's get this out of the way. I understand from your records you have completed all 4 phases of the Madison sex offender treatment. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And tell me, what did you get from that program, and what facets of that program will you practice throughout the rest of your life?
Can you repeat that?
Okay, tell me the important things you got from that program, and what practices will you follow the rest of your life as a result of that program?
I got that no person deserves that kind of abuse. That no woman deserves that. That I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not a big talker.
Well, I think it would be to your benefit if you would answer our questions today.
Okay. What I got out of it is I don't understand exactly what you're asking.
Okay. I'm asking, what did you get from the program, and what practices are you going to follow the result of the program?
I'm gonna continue to stay in that class, follow up on that class and continue and try to help people that needs help with abuse, that kind of classes, all that I can. And what I got out of it was, like I said, no person should have to go through that. And when a person says no, it means no.
Thank you. Tell me about the other programs that you completed in the last 6.5 years.
The other classes,
Yes.
yeah, like living in balance, stuff like that.
Yes. What other classes have you completed?
What I have living in balance, syrup, my CDL, what is that one? The one in the gym, pre-release,
Anger management,
anger management, and my AA.
100 hours pre-release,
Sir?
100 hours pre-release.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me why, in according to your master record, you had an 8th grade education when you entered incarceration. You were in the GED program and you dropped out in March of 2018. Tell me why.
I went back to try to get my GED to try to better myself. So when I did get out, I could try to better myself, but I'm not trying to be a smart butt or nothing, but I don't comprehend as fast and pick up as fast as other people do. I don't have book sense. I got common sense. I can go out and get a job just about anywhere. And but I just can't pick it up. The book sense. I can't do it.
Uh, that meant you had to work a little harder,
Yes, sir.
but instead you dropped out.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been diagnosed with dyslexia?
No, sir. I haven't. Never went and had it checked.
Okay, okay. Uh, Tell me about your disciplinary issues since you've been incarcerated.
Which one?
How many disciplinary write-ups do you
Oh,
have?
I'm sorry. None.
So basically, you have no disciplinary write-ups in 6.5 years.
No, sir.
Great. What is your job at the facility before the COVID virus?
I am a sewing machine operator.
Okay, you work in the garment factory.
I work in the laundry. They have sewing machines in here.
Okay, so you mend and repair clothing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you a trustee?
No, sir.
By virtue of all your time and your offense, you probably could not be a trustee.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what your transition plan is. Where do you plan to work? Where do you plan to live?
Where do I plan on working? Well, I would like to get back around Monroe, Louisiana, and I would like to start back driving a truck again. That's what I was doing before I got incarcerated.
Have you put any feelers out? Has your family put any feelers out to see whether or not you have employment in the area in which you're going to live?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay, where do you plan to live?
And I'm hoping right around Monroe, Louisiana.
Okay, and who do you plan to live with?
I don't I don't have a place right now.
You do realize even if you were paroled today, you would not get released until probation and parole approves a residency.
Yes, sir.
And in your case, it's going to be very difficult because you can't live around schools, churches, playgrounds, daycare centers. You can't live within a certain distance of any location that is frequent.
Current location is less than a half mile.
Excuse me, that was Siri answered my question.
I'm not sure I understand.
Okay, and even to zoos, anywhere a child is frequent, you cannot live with a certain distance.
Yes, sir.
So I would start working on that simply because it's going to be difficult.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, tell us today why we should vote to release you early when your daughter is still emotionally affected by the sexual abuse by biological father.
Because I'm very sorry, and if I could speak to her, I would tell her how sorry I am, and I want to be, I'm gonna be a better person. I wish I would have been a better dad when I was out there. This place has really made me stop and think and realize just how bad of a dad I was. And I just, if I could do it all over again, I would do it different.
Thank you. Just to inform you that you have expressed opposition from the judge, from the DA's office, from the sheriff's office, the chief of police. The mother of the victim is adamantly opposed, and the victim herself is vehemently opposed. She wrote a very long statement saying that she is opposed to any release for the individual that sexually abused her. You can't do anything about opposition, but you need to know that it plays a factor in our decision.
Yes, sir.
Madam Chairman?
Thank you, Mr. Roche. Mr. Jones?
Good afternoon, Mr. Walters.
Good afternoon.
You talked about being a bad dad.
Yes, sir.
Raping your 13-year-old daughter is kind of the opposite of being a good dad. Wouldn't you say? Like the ultimate bad dad?
Yes.
And you have any other children?
Yes, sir. I have 2 other girls.
What's your relationship like with them?
They're good.
We don't see them on the screen,
No, sir.
so they didn't take the time to appear in support of your parole application.
No, sir.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
In your answers to Mr. Roche's questions, you made reference to, quote, my AA. You recall that?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you were talking about.
You talking about my AA?
I mean, that was the term you used about things you were doing, and I think you said my AA. Did you not say that?
I don't recall it. I had took a AA meeting.
Okay.
The class AA.
Okay. Have you reached the conclusion that you may have a drinking problem?
Yes, sir.
And what led you to think that?
People got where they didn't like being around me. But I didn't realize it until I got in here.
So the DWIs you got, that wasn't a hint to you.
Yes, sir.
How many did you get?
3.
Third DWI, it never occurred to you, maybe I've lost control of this. Maybe I should consider not doing this anymore. You didn't think about that?
No, sir.
This is just me, but how somebody with 3 DWIs can get a job being a truck driver just baffles me. I don't get it. But tell me something you learned in the AA class you went to.
Don't drink and drive. It's not good for you. You could get out there and kill or be killed. Ever get behind the wheel while you driving, drinking?
Interesting. I've been to hundreds of AA meetings, hundreds of them. I have never heard anybody say in an AA meeting, don't drink and drive. What they say in AA meetings is, don't drink. People there have gotten their lives in position where they are resolved to not drink, not just don't drink and drive. Drinking's okay for you, huh?
No, sir, not no more.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you're in prison, harder drinking there. We'll see what happens. Mr. Roche asked you about getting a GED, and here's how it works with the parole board. We want inmates to pursue their education if they can, and we want men to get their GEDs, men and women to get their GEDs if they can. If they can't, then one of the education professionals can be brought in to evaluate them and give us a report that says that that inmate is not capable of getting the GED, whether for a learning disability or simply a low IQ. They'll tell us that, and we'll have that in our record, and we can have that to look at instead of an inmate telling us that he just doesn't have book sense. So I would strongly encourage you, if you don't get parole today, to try again, because we really do look hard at that.
Yes, sir.
Try again to get your GED, and if you can't, ask for help. Eventually, one of two things will happen. Either you'll get it, or somebody will tell us why you can't. And that's important for our records, okay?
All righty.
And that's all the questions I have for you, Mr. Walters.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Walters, I do have a couple of questions. Did you plead guilty to this offense?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was part of a plea agreement, wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
And as part of that plea agreement, you were to serve 20 years. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so why do you just tell me once again? I know you gave Mr. Roche an answer. Tell us once again why you believe that now we should grant you early release or earlier than that 20-year sentence that you agreed to.
Because I've changed. Trying to be a better person, a better man. I wanna do better. I really do.
Okay.
I'm so sorry for what I did. I am. I know I can't take it back, but I would like to. And I'm sorry.
Okay. So you also mentioned to Mr. Roche, one of the takeaways that you had from the sex offender treatment classes was no woman deserves that, I think is what you said. And so how old was the victim at the time of the crime?
13,
12 or 13?
13, I think.
Okay. And would you consider that to be a child?
Yes, ma'am.
So do I. We also talked earlier about, or I listened to Mr. Roche tell you about the opposition, and this is what the DA said. The district attorney, and this is in Caddo Parish, is opposed to the parole of Mr. Walters. The criminal committed the crime of molestation of a juvenile. He has a history of molestation of other juveniles. If he were released on parole, he would be a continual threat to our community. To allow his parole would deprecate the severity of the crime committed. How do you feel about those remarks?
I don't see how they can say that about me when this is my first conviction. I don't see where they got other evidence to say this. And I feel like that it's not right that they accusing me of something that I didn't do. Of all of these other ones that they're saying I was supposed to have done.
Okay. Well, our records indicate that there were other people that came forward and spoke about their experiences. So I'll just leave it at that. So let's hear from Warden Tanner. Warden Tanner, can we hear from you now?
Yes, ma'am. While Gregory has not been a institutional problem with his disciplinary record. And by the way, he did have one write-up. He said he didn't have any, but he had a theft write-up in 2017. I have to give him credit where credit's due. He is a member of a inmate recognition program. As he mentioned, he is maintaining a job in the laundry as a sewing machine operator. But I do have my concerns, as you pointed out, his reference to no woman should be treated like that. I also made note of the fact that he claimed no means no. And a 13-year-old should never be put in a position to have to say no.
Right.
That concerns me as well. I'm also concerned at the fact that he dropped out of the GED program, although he claims he lacks book sense and everything, but yet he was able to comprehend the sex offender treatment programs that we have and pass through there. which gives me a little bit of cause, a little concern about our programming. And so, I don't know that a few months of programming will have served him well. I feel like he would do much better here in custody with us, and I don't think he is a good risk for parole at this time.
Thank you, Warden Tanner. We appreciate your input. So at this time, Ms. Moore, if you're able, we'd like to hear your statement, if you'd like to make one.
Yes, ma'am, I would. I would just like to say that it's been 10 years since this happened. I was not 13, I was 12. I still live with this every day of my life. I am married and I have a child, and I still, on a weekly basis, wake up screaming with nightmares. I've been put in a mental hospital. I have to take more medications than any 22-year-old should ever have to take. I can't trust people anymore because the one man that I was supposed to trust with everything destroyed that for me. And I don't think that he still believes, that he did it. He's always said that he didn't do it. And despite what he says, I believe, he just says that because he wants to get parole. I don't think he actually believes he did it. And I don't think he's sorry for what he did.
Well, thanks for being here with us today. I know that took a lot of courage. I can see the emotional roller coaster that you've been on in the last few minutes. So we really appreciate your courage today.
Yes, ma'am.
For being here. All right, so we're going to ask Mr. Walters, would you make a brief statement to wrap it up for us?
Like I said, I'm sorry for what I done. Don't no person or woman deserve that. I'm sorry. Like I said, if I could do it over again, I would do it different.
All right. Thank you, sir. We'll ask the panel for their vote. We'll start with Mr. Roche.
Mr. Walters, I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
to use as a primary reason for denying the emotional effect that your offense has had on your daughter for the last 10 years. She is still emotionally affected, and you need to understand that a father is one who protects his children. And when she was abused by you, she lost confidence in everyone. So living her life married with a child is difficult at best. Based upon that emotional effect, her vehement opposition, adamant opposition by her mother, opposition from the whole legal community, in the like of a GED, when you had the opportunity and you dropped out of classes, my vote is to deny your request.
Mr. Jones. You're on mute, sir.
I was going to say a couple of words to Mrs. Moore, but we've lost her. So I'll speak only to Mr. Walters. Mr. Roche, told you all the reasons why he voted to deny you. I agree with every one of his reasons. As an aside, you're not accused of DWI third offense now. It's not a it's not something that I could ever require you to do. But if you take a closer look at the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, maybe read the book entitled Alcoholics Anonymous, you might recognize yourself there and have a better idea about what that's about. Mrs. Moore? Mrs. Moore, are you there? Well, she's frozen, so I guess not. I mean, if she can hear us, I read your letter, and I know that this was traumatic. This is not a hearing we decided to have. This is a hearing that the legislature told us to have, and it's not intended to put you through a bad experience, and that it has, we feel badly about. But take solace in the fact that just because he is eligible for parole doesn't mean he's going to get paroled. And my vote today, Mr. Walters, is to deny your parole.
All right. And Mr. Walters, are you still with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I couldn't tell. I do concur with my colleagues. My vote today also is to deny your parole based on the reasons that have already been articulated to you. So today, sir, your parole's been denied.
Later.
You wouldn't see it, believe it if you didn't see it. That's a whole nother level of cockroach. First time seeing the board member Keith. Overall, I like him. I thought it was really great that he took the time to address her and to also state the facts about how it works, how they are forced to do it from the legislator, and never seen that in all the hundreds and hundreds of hearings we've done until now. You know, it was classic manipulation cards played by this cockroach. I'm not that smart. I'm not intelligent. They're asking questions, and it's like straight off the bat. What did you learn in the class? And he can't answer. He can't even answer. Oh man, it was so much to the point where the warden was embarrassed. The warden even was like, we need to reevaluate our programs. Well, no, yeah, of course. Come on, it's all ridiculous. He actually said no woman deserves that. It's your 12-year-old daughter. I thank you for Ms. Renazza for calling that out. She's not a woman. I mean, it's like the levels of he sat there and he dragged it out, literally, like pretending that he had this low IQ and he had no idea what was going on. It's all, he's just a poor, unintelligent man. he has, without a doubt, has left a trail, a destructive trail of babies behind him, of children. The DA, into their message, their hint of what their statement is, what they put in writing, it's just a little taste of it. And then his response was, you saw his viciousness come out. He became more and more indignant or defiant as he wasn't being interrupted. He kept getting more and more defiant. How could they accuse me of it? Well, there's a record of people coming up. And the DA, he has a point. The DA should go and try him. You made a point that the DA should listen. They shouldn't just write a strong letter, which is more than they normally do. So I'll congratulate you for doing that. Often they just say we oppose. They at least took the time. Forget about showing up. We can hardly hope for that. But at least they wrote a letter. But they gave him a plea deal of 15 years, which makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. He didn't just, it's his own biological daughter, which he and 15 years. The legislature of Louisiana allows him to come up for parole after 10. Where are the mandates for longer sentences? How could someone do that? What if they did it to someone who wasn't their daughter? Would it be more time? We've seen life sentences for those charges. Why do you get a 15-year deal? It's madness. It's complete insanity. Really, I think a lot of it has to do with it's just easier, right? Who wants to go to trial? That's a lot of work. They don't want to do that. So they hand off deals. Now this stuff's on YouTube. It's coming to light. People are going to wake up and say, what? Are you kidding me? What is wrong with this picture? The whole system is rotten. She's up here by herself. The DA is not sitting next to her. No one's there to support her. She had to come up by herself to keep her father, who did this to her at 13, to 12, to keep him locked up. But to think, he'll be getting out soon. He's probably getting out, I guess, in 3 years or something. 2 to 3 years. And then what? Nothing. He'll just harm again, without a doubt. It's not if, it's how many. And it's will he get caught? The if is will he get caught? That's the only if. It was interesting. So Keith is, he's a member that obviously retired from here. It's strange. He has like no digital footprint, which is very odd in this world to have no digital footprint. It makes me think that he's, you have to intentionally have no digital footprint. But Richard found this. I had searched. It wasn't easy, but Keith Jones is an attorney who practiced in Baton Rouge since 1976. He served his BA from LSU, doctorate at LSU Law Center. He's licensed to practice before all Louisiana courts and in the United States Supreme Court. through his law practice, Mr. Jones has been exposed to various. He did talk like a lawyer. He was very, lawyery in his talk, and it was interesting. Apparently, he's in AA. He goes to AA, which is good for him. And I do like the way he approached it. He's like, that is so interesting. I've gone to hundreds and hundreds of AA classes, and I've never heard that. We don't say don't drink and drive. We say don't drink. You can't fix this, Roach. You can't fix it. And they just kick the ball down the road. More children will get harmed. It's a broken system, and that's why we do this, for a few reasons. It's unlikely the system will change anytime soon, but at least when someone Googles this cockroach, it's going to show up. And maybe someone who takes the time to Google this roach before they invite it into their home will see this YouTube video, and maybe we can protect someone that way. With that, I'll let you go.